Tutankhamun and his treasures. Who was Tutankhamun? Was one of the kings of the 18th dynasty of the New Kingdom of the Pharaonic period. He was the ruler of Egypt from 1334 until 1325 BC. Tutankhamun became the king of Egypt when he was only 9 years old. The word Tutankhamun in the ancient Egyptian language means the living incarnation of Amun, the most important god in ancient Egypt. Tutankhamun lived in a transitory period of the ancient Egyptian history as he became the ruler of Egypt after Akhenaten, who tried to unify the multi-god system in Egypt into the worship of only one god, Aton, the god of sun. However, when Akhenaten passed away and Tutankhamun became his successor, the multi-god system became prominent in Egypt once again, represented by the ascendance of the worship of Amun once again. The tomb of Tutankhamun was discovered in 1932 by Howard Carter and managed to garner major media attention worldwide. His grave was intact and featured some of the most beautiful burial items and furniture ever found. The funeral mask of King Tutankhamun wore is one of the most famous ancient artifacts in the world. Another reason behind the worldwide fame of the King Tutankhamun was his death in an early age, an incident that many historians find to be strange, especially after checking out his mummy and finding out there were some fractures in his skull. Most of the historians and Egyptologists believe that King Tut was the son of Amenhotep IV, better known as Akhenaten. It is also believed that his ruling period lasted only from 8 to 10 years. When scientists examined the mummy of Tutankhamun, they found out that he died while he was young. In fact, they found he was less than 20 years old when he passed away, and his age was determined later to be 19 years old when he died. During the ruling period of Tutankhamun, a revolt began in Tel El Amarna against the former king of Egypt at the time, Akhenaten. He had moved the capital of Egypt from Thebes to his new city Akhet Aton, which was located near the governorate of Al-Minya today, and some people were angry at him. In 1331 BC, in the third year of the reign of Tutankhamun, the multi-god system became prevailing once again and the capital went back to Thebes again as well. Reasons behind the death of King Tutankhamun. For a very long period of time, the reasons behind the death of Tutankhamun were debatable, and many historical theories asserted that he was murdered. However, when the mummy of Tutankhamun was scanned using the three-dimensional CT, the famous Egyptian Egyptologist Zahi Hawass announced that in fact there is no evidence whatsoever that proves that Tutankhamun was murdered. Hawass added that the hole King Tut had in his skull was not due to the fact that he was hit in his head as it was believed in the past, but it was due to the mummification process of the king after his death. Hawass also noted that the fracture that was found in one of the thighs of Tutankhamun was not due to any criminal actions, but it was because King Tut had a break in his leg before he died. The final report of the Egyptologists who examined the mummy of Tutankhamun concluded that the reason behind his death was due to blood poisoning he was exposed to that led to his death. Whether it was intentional is not known. Discovery of the tomb of Tutankhamun. The tomb of Tutankhamun was discovered on November 4, 1922 by the British archaeologist Howard Carter. While doing some excavation work in the tunnel leading to the tomb of Ramses IV in the Valley of the Kings, Carter noticed that there was a large cellar. He went on with his excavation until he stumbled upon the tomb of Tutankhamun. The small burial chamber of Tutankhamun had wonderful portrayals telling the story of the death of the king with marvelous colors and decorations. This discovery was among the most important scientific discoveries in the 20th century due to the fact that the mummy of the king Tutankhamun was found intact and in a fairly good condition, with all its wonderful necklaces, rings, sticks, and crowns made out of gold and the purest types of wood. Moreover, Howard Carter was the first person to enter the tomb of Tutankhamun in around 3,000 years, as the tomb had been hidden in the sand of the mountain for centuries. Carter noticed that there was a wooden box with golden ornaments in the middle of the burial chamber, and when he opened this box, he found another similar wooden golden ornamented box. When Carter opened the second box, he found the third box, and at the end, Carter was able to find the sarcophagus of the king that was carved to look like Tutankhamun. When Carter opened the sarcophagus, he found the main golden coffin of King Tutankhamun, the most valuable item in the tomb that still amazes the whole world with its beauty. Carter had to cut through 3 golden coffins in order to reach the mummy of Tutankhamun, which was carefully wrapped in silk cloths. In the end, when Carter was able to take off the whole shroud, he found the mummy in good condition, wearing all his royal necklaces and rings and with his pure golden crook and crown in amazing condition. The treasures of Tutankhamun. The tomb of Tutankhamun was discovered almost intact, and this was why the items that were found in the tomb clarified many facts about the religious and funerary beliefs of ancient Egypt. The Pharaoh of Egypt was always buried with all his personal belongings, including all the items that he used since he was a child, like some of his toys. Moreover, all the other things that the king used during his life, like pencils, colors, outfits and clothes, and jewelry that he would use in the afterlife, were buried along with him. Among the most important items of the tomb of Tutankhamun is the only surviving throne chair that dates back to ancient Egypt. There is also a chariot that is pulled by horses, and some weapons including swords, daggers, arches, and bayonets. The most precious item that was found in the tomb of Tutankhamun was his golden coffin. It weighs more than 110 kilograms and is made of pure gold. Other extremely valuable items are King Tut's golden mask that is ornamented with precious stones, which weighs 11 kilograms, and 2 other coffins that were made out of wood ornamented with gold, and 314 shobati statues, which were put with the deceased to work instead of him in the afterlife. Archaeologists were also able to find 32 statues of Tutankhamun and the gods of the afterlife, all made out of wood ornamented with gold. A lot of jewelry was found in the tomb of Tutankhamun as well, and the collection included 143 golden items ornamented with precious stones, with most of them portraying the sun god in his several forms. A huge collection of alabaster was also unearthed along with King Tut, and it consists of many containers and vessels in the tomb of Tutankhamun. This is in addition to a marvelously designed and crafted alabaster lamp. This lamp was put with the king in his tomb so he would be able to find his way in the afterlife. The collection of jewelry of Tutankhamun is among the most famous and rarest collections of ancient Egypt, and also contains many necklaces, earrings, and crowns, as well as an ornamented pendant made out of gold, silver, garnet, precious stones, turquoise, and white, black, green, red, and blue-colored glass. This piece is one of the most beautiful jewelry items found in the Tutankhamun tomb. The importance of the collection of Tutankhamun. There are many reasons behind the importance of the collection of the King Tutankhamun. The first is that all the belongings of Tutankhamun date back to the 18th dynasty, the most vibrant period of the ancient Egyptian history, as Egypt had several commercial and political activities with regions located to the south and the east of the country. The second reason is that the treasures of Tutankhamun are the most complete and intact pharaonic treasure ever found in history. The treasures consist of more than 385 items that include the marvelous golden mummy cover of Tutankhamun, 3 golden coffins, and many magnificent items that people from all over the world visit Egypt to view and admire.